If you are transitioning from Fusion 360 to FreeCAD, here is a quick start guide to get you up and running in 5 to 10 minutes, after which you can explore further on your own. Let's start with the navigation style. When you first open up FreeCAD, you will be greeted with this window. Open up the part design example. I would recommend that you first try to orientate the model using the default navigation style, which is named CAD Navigation. If you are not comfortable with using this style, you can go to Edit, Preferences, Display. Locate the 3D navigation drop-down list and change the style accordingly. Down in the video description, I will post a link to the wiki that explains the various styles in detail. I personally prefer using the Blender style, where you rotate using the middle mouse button and pan by holding the left and right mouse buttons. You can also change the navigation style by right-clicking in space in the 3D view area or by going to the status bar at the bottom right corner. Once you are comfortable with manipulating the model in space, we are ready to create a new part. Create a new empty document. Locate the Workbench drop-down list. The Workbench is similar to the Workspace in Fusion 360. This is where commands are grouped into different categories. For creating standard solid 3D models, we need to select Part Design. Once you select that, a Create Body option pops up in the Task panel. Click on that. Next, you will be prompted to create a sketch. Upon clicking that, you are presented with the 3 primary planes. Rotate and select one of the planes and click OK to begin a sketch on that plane. The 3D view area would automatically orientate and look normal to the sketch plane. You can go to the Task panel, expand Edit controls, and toggle the grid on or off if you wish. We have pretty much the standard sketch entities that you would get in Fusion 360. Let's start the Line tool and attempt to snap to the origin. In Fusion 360, once you get near the origin, there will be a reassuring snap with a square Q. In the case of FreeCAD, there is no assisted snap. You have to make sure either that you see the origin being highlighted in yellow or the red dots appearing beside your cursor before clicking and putting down the starting point of the line. To dimension this in Fusion 360, you will use a Universal Dimension tool. By clicking on the entities in a certain way, the program would guess what kind of dimension you are looking for. In FreeCAD, there are specialized dimension tools for different situations. For example, if I need to define a vertical distance between this point and the origin, I will have to use the Vertical Dimension tool and select the 2 points. Alternatively, you can directly select the line and the vertical dimension with respect to the origin is added. For horizontal dimensioning, use the Horizontal Dimension tool. In the case of a rectangle, we can use the Length Dimension tool. For non-linear entities, such as a circle, use the Circular Dimension tool. When it comes to constraints, FreeCAD works quite similarly to Fusion 360. If you need to draw a horizontal line, watch out for the inferred constraint before clicking, and the constraint is automatically added. You can also draw a line in space, click on the horizontal constraint, and then click on the line, or vice versa. If I need to join a new line to this point, watch out for the highlighted point in yellow or the red dot beside the cursor before clicking. Or you can add in the constraint by clicking on the coincident constraint and selecting the 2 points. If you need a point to end on a line, watch out for the point on Object constraint before clicking. For the purposes of this tutorial, let's make a rectangle that snaps to the origin. Make sure that you see the origin being highlighted in yellow or the red dot appearing beside the cursor before clicking. Once fully constrained, the sketch turns green. Close the sketch. We use this close profile to create a solid. Choose Pad. This is similar to the extrude command in Fusion 360. You can think of the task panel as a window that appears in Fusion 360 whenever you start a command. Adjust the distance. Click OK to confirm. Once this is done, let's take a look at the model panel. You can see that the pad feature has been added to the tree view. In Fusion 360, there is a browser where the planes and bodies are listed. There is also a timeline where features are listed. In the case of FreeCAD, all of these are managed in the tree view. There is the existing body, the origin with the primary axis and planes, and the newly created pad feature with its related sketch. To toggle the visibility of the primary axis and planes, click on the origin and press the spacebar. If you do not see anything, you will need to toggle each of these individually. Let's make a cut on the top face. Select the face and click on Create a new sketch. If I start a rectangle and try to snap to the edge of the existing solid, I will not be able to do so. We need to use a command that is similar to the project command in Fusion 360. To do this, click on this icon to create an edge linked to an external geometry. Click on this edge. The edge gets projected in magenta. Now you can snap the rectangle to this edge. Once the sketch is fully defined, close it and select Create a Pocket command. The command recognizes the active sketch and proceeds to cut using this profile. Adjust the depth and confirm. Alright, hope this has been helpful in getting you up and running. I will see you in the next tutorial.